Hello and welcome to episode 41 of the Yarnivore podcast. I am Sadie. I will be your host. I am trying to get comfortable and Frank gave up on me. 41. That's almost a year. It's been almost a year I've been recording here in Washington. It's pretty intense. It probably has been a year. I missed a couple episodes due to various trips and travels and whatnot, but 41, that's pretty insane. So, sure, I don't have too much to show off. I guess I do. I feel like I don't. I always feel like I don't, and then I do. But since I have no finished objects, let's just jump right into whips. In my bird-like bags bag, my canine bag, I have my Gale's Art sock blank, which has gotten some love. It is the brass octopus blank. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little something like amazing. And love Gale. Big love to Gale. I'm using US 1 2.25 millimeter needles. I am using Mina Phillips Pebble sock. Now the second set of the sock series for Beyond Vanilla has come out, and there's going to be a knit along. So I'll probably start another pair to join that knit along, maybe. I don't know. I like her Beyond Vanilla ones because they're pretty easy. I have gotten this far. Now, she does give instructions for a German short row, but I'm going to go ahead and do a flap and gusset because that's my bread. That's my jam. It's my pudding. I just like my flap and gusset. But so far, this is what I have. And I really love it. Let's see. You can see the texture going on here. Just a little bit of purl bumps hitting up. It's very simple. It's a very simple 4-row repeat. I highly recommend purchasing the pattern set if you are into sock knitting without thinking. Like, I don't know. I like cookie-a. I like really dramatic socks. I like really involved patterns as much as the next person. But right now, I'm just in a vibe where I want to make socks that I can, take on the road and do a row or two and forget about it. And then pick it up and be like, oh yeah, okay, I'm on row 3. Blah, 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 blah. Keep going. Although, who was it? Was it Pam? It was Pam or Aileen Bella Socks. Someone made monkeys. And now I want to make a pair of monkeys. I might have to do another pair of monkeys. It's been a while. I did them during the Great Monkey Craze, and I don't think I've done a pair since. Second cup of coffee of the day. There's not enough coffee in the day. I don't know. See, I'm testing this ridiculous lace shawl by Awilda. That is going to be part of the Dresden file series. Again, my Dresden heads, go over to Awilda B Designs or something to that effect. I'll link it in the Ravelry group where I've been putting the show notes. I put the show notes in with the announcement that gives you, this episode is now live on YouTube and on the blog. I put some show notes in there now. I'm trying to be better about that. So I will link to her design thing. But she's released a couple of the Dresden patterns, and there's a new one coming out soon. And I'm a horrible tester because I am so far behind. It's not even funny. Let's barely call me a tester, really. But it is a gorgeous pattern, and it is based after Mab in the books, which I have gotten a little further on, if only because my husband listens to them before bed. So he falls asleep listening to them, and then, the app automatically closes out at a certain point within activity. So I've been hearing them in 20-minute intervals, really. So I do know who Mab is, but yeah, so there's that. I'm not showing you that until I actually get to a point where I'm like, look, I did some lace work, because right now it's just not going to happen. Okay, I'll do this one last. I'm putting the Pam bag back over here for a minute, because that was the one that, really got the lovin's. So in my yarn-friendly bag, which is the Pokemon bag, because you can never have too many Pokemons. You gotta poke your mom. I worked on the Canada Cal brioche. I will remind everybody that I think it ends this next week, midnight on the last day of August. I'm closing that thread, and then I will draw from it on the following podcast. So that's how long you have to enter something that is Canadian. Now the rule is it's either a Canadian designer or a Canadian pattern. Either or both, that gets you one entry. If you knit it with my yarn, you get 2, and if it's one of my patterns, then you get 3. So yeah, that's how that works. And so this is how far I've gotten. Let me just, it's nice mindless brioche. It just so happens that the 4-row repeat kind of bugs me now. Like, I've done it so much, like I've considerably done it long enough that it is starting to get to me in its banality. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I want a little bit more pattern. I love it, but it's like I have to think about these rows, and they're getting longer. It's not even that I have to think, it's that I have to count that. Like, I have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I suppose if I just made if I augmented it to be a 2-row repeat, it could be better, but then it's going to offset the pattern, and it's going to look weird. So, I don't know. I'm going to keep trucking, but this may be a while, because look at how far I've gotten. That's my last week marker right there. Like, seriously, I worked on it out of shame. That's a little dingly dangly do. This is shame knitting right here, because that's all I could do. And it's not from lack of love of the pattern or the yarn, or it's not my bag right now. It may need to have a timeout for a minute or two until I can come back to it, because I do love brioche. It's just it's not my jam right now, and you got to follow your heart. It's being knit on US4 3.5 millimeter needles. I am using, of course, Knitter's Nightmare. This is Giant in the Grey Havens colorway, and this is, hold on a sec. Okay, so I had a bunch of things pop up and I had to take care of them. I'm sorry. This is Giant in the Grey Havens, and this is Boogeyman. Yes, Boogeyman in the Arabesque colorway. I love them both. I love them together. I'm not vibing this pattern. This pattern and I, maybe it's too easy. I don't know. Or maybe it's not. It's a step above too easy, and it's a step below complex, because, yeah, I don't know. Again, if it's not your jam, maybe you need to put it away until it becomes your jam again. Or maybe it's that it's too hot right now to be working on it. I don't know. Now you want to talk about a pattern that I've been getting along with. Let me just pull out the picture. This is the picture of the True Friend. It's a sweater. We'll call it a sweater, by Vera Valimaki. And it's in my pan bag. And it's going to be hard to show you because you knit the front and the back simultaneously. But last time you saw it, I only had the little purple front bib done. And I have since gotten the purple bib done on the front and the back. I am now into the stripy bits. And I freaking love the stripy bits. Let's just look at those stripy bits. Just look at them. Look at how gorgeous those are. Like, did I not call it on good color choices or what? Okay, there's the shoulder bit. There's the shoulder bit. Look at that. Look at how awesome that is. That's just too beautiful for words. I cannot wait to wear this. I can't. Maybe that's why it's getting so, like, I had to force myself to work on things that wasn't this, because not only is it, like, it's got the mindlessness of just keep knitting for the most part, and then every second row you've got your increased rows, right? Okay, it's a paid for pattern, so I'm not going to give you too much information here, but let me just say, it's very easy to sit and knit and just keep knitting, just keep knitting. And it's got the stripe effect. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it the stripe effect, where if you're knitting anything that has stripes like this, like a 2-color, or where they've got short stripe repeats, you just want to get to the next stripe. Just to the next stripe. I got to get to the next stripe. I got to get to the next stripe. Oh, I'm on the next stripe. I'll just finish this stripe. It's the stripe effect. The stripe effect is like potato chips. You just can't stop. And I can't stop with this. And I know I've got a fair ways to go, because I think I'm like a quarter of the way through the stripes right now. Like, I have no illusions in my head that I am close to being done here. And because I'm working on the front and the back, I give myself a little leeway, because this is the whole body. Plus the side, like, I mean, I'm going like down, 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 all the way around, right? So I'm giving myself some leeway in that regard. Like, I'm not bugging myself that I'm not getting too far, and like, it does take about a half hour to get a row done. Not gonna lie to you. But having said all of that, I mean, I'm just loving it. I'm loving it. These are 3.5 millimeter needles. It's not printed on them. These are my Prims from back in the day. I believe these came from my mother. Oh, it is printed on them. It is 3.5. Okay, then these must be a newer set that I've got, and they're actually printed right here, but they only print the Canadian or the British or whatever. They only print the millimeters, 3.5 millimeter. And I am using, this is what's left of my first skein. It calls for 3 skeins. This is their I Am No Bird Batty Sock by Knitter's Nightmare, which is available in the shop currently. Here's my 3 for doing the ribbings and such. And then the stripey bits are this, which was gifted to me by my mother-in-law, who has excellent taste in Mad Tosh's Euro sock in the Murakami colorway. I feel like I should be reading a Murakami right now, just because I'm knitting with it. And I do like Murakami. I've read the Wind Up Bird Chronicles, the one about North and South, and there's another one. I want to read IQ84, so I might pick that up. I don't know. However, we have now had to we had to start this thing. It's not a book buying ban, but we now have a rule. And it's similar to rules that I have used with yarn before, where it's like you have to knit so many skeins before a new skein can come in. Now it's, because I'm a fast reader, and I am a fast reader, it's one of the side effects of having been in university for so long. I can read a book in a day if I really feel like it. That's if I'm just sitting down reading one book and it's about 300 pages. I can crank that out in a day. No problems. My husband's not as quick a reader, but he tends to read a lot more than I do. Like, he has more time to read than I do. When he does read, he tends to go all out, whereas I'm more of a piecemeal kind of reader. Anyway, he has a 1-to-1 ratio. If he reads a book, he can have a new book. I have a 5-to-1 ratio. I have to read 5 books before a new book is allowed in, which isn't too bad, actually, for me. Of course, this means I'm reading all my skinnier books. Like, it's all those 200-page and less books, or those 250s and less. That's what I'm really picking up on right now, because I can really slam those out. And then, I'll move on to the Wheel of Time. I'm kind of saving that for when I'm, like, all by myself, because those ones really do suck me in. Lord of the Rings, Wheel of Time, these are books that, like, require a dedicated time frame to be read, just because I'm crazy. So those were my works in progress. I did want to talk a little bit about this guy. Now, I did get the PDF as well, but just a few weeks ago, Cooperative Press had a sale. I picked this guy up for $5 plus shipping. which meant like $10. But seriously, I got the ebook and I got the book. And there are some really gorgeous patterns in here. You got shawls. Where's the... Like, I mean, they've got some stupid things that I would never knit. But they've got some pretty lovely things. And when I looked through, what I did was, I went to Ravelry and I brought up the book's page. And I looked at all the things. Like, I really love the front picture cardigan. Like, I love that. I don't love how they have it on the model, where it kind of makes it look like she's pregnant, but hey, whatever. Mina should knit it now that she's announced she's pregnant. Like, this gorgeous little... Oh, and congratulations to Mina, who does not watch this. This adorable little swirly shawl. I think for $5, if you like one pattern, you're winning, right? Like, so for $5, one pattern, winning. I think I like more than one. Will I knit more than one? Possibly. Like, they've got some nice vests. The only problem is, and aesthetically, I love this picture. I love this model. I think it's all good. I love her hair. She looks like an indie rocker. It just makes me happy. Where's the one I really like? Of course, I'm going to have trouble finding the one I really like. It's going to be right at the front, isn't it? Yes, of course it is. Of course it is. That is just how it works. I love this one. This one just makes me happy. I might have to knit this one relatively soon. I like the open laceness. I don't know, I like how she's coy. I would knit it a lot longer though, because there ain't nothing I'm going to be doing that's going to be playfully lifting around my belly button region. Okay, nothing's playfully lifting there. It's not playfully lifted since I was a teenager. Actually, before I was a teenager. Maybe when I was 10, I was playfully lifting. But no. No one needs to see that. However, I do recommend picking it up. It's very librarian. And it is the Librarian-inspired knits, edited by Sarah Barbour, forward by Jessamine West. It's a cooperative press. You can get it in an e format, PDF format, or you can get it in the hardcover format. I don't know if it's still on sale. You should wait. You should definitely sign up for the emails for Cooperative Press, because they're worth their weight in gold in terms of catching good sales. Now, okay. So if you don't like the shop update portions of the show, then this is the part where you would leave, which is completely fine. I will see you next week. However, if you want to see what's in the shop, I will show you, because I'm pretty proud of some of the things I've done this lately. Lately, I've done some wonderful things. Okay, so Electric Funeral is back in stock. It was gone for a while. It's back in both the Batty Sock and the Siren Sport. Looks like the sock came out just a little bit darker than the Sport this time. I love Electric Funeral. Then we have some naturally dyed fibers, because everybody loves naturally dyed. We have Underwood on Wickedly Worsted, which is not showing up as yellow as it is. It's actually a lot more yellow. It's a yellowy, tanny, taupey color. Almost buttery. Almost like a toasted buttery. And then we have Silver Haired, which came out in two different strengths. So on the worsted, it's a very dark gray, and on the Batty, it's a light gray with a hint of a taupiness. Either way, Silver Haired, very pretty. I did some I Am No Bird on worsted. So we have I Am No Bird on worsted, Sport, and I believe I have some on Sport. I have it on worsted and Batty Sock as well in the shop. And this is what I'm using on the True Friends sweater. Stained Glass came back, which is like a million bajillion colors, and then it's got gray put over top of it. The two new colorways that made their way into the shop are Green Gloves, which is actually a song by The National that I really like. It's got these gorgeous dark greens with this brown that almost went black, and then you've got hints of blues and berries throughout. And this is on the sparkle base, the Spectre base. It's just, I really like that one. And then on Batty and Sport, we have the other new colorway I did, which is called Mermaid, which is blues, teals, purples, a hint of pink. I've had trouble trying to get it to look its best because it looks really great in real life, and it's having some issues coming out in human, or in the, I'm having troubles translating it in camera. However, it is still beautiful in real life. So those are in the shop. They are ready to go. Feel free to hop on over and get some of those. I've already discussed the Canada Cal and the fact that it ends soon. So I think I've touched on everything, and I will see everybody next week. Happy knitting. Bye.